So we did Tough Mudder. Proof, muddy and everything.
Rub it in the lawn.
Which was in September. So the three of us, me, Jack and Arthur, booked a hostel in some random valley in South Wales.
Great map.
The great map. They sent us an email with directions because people have trouble finding it. And it's no surprise they have trouble finding it, given that they give this crap map, the worst map I've ever seen, with no landmarks on it, no road names.
No road names.
Just a triangle saying where they were, and then some roads.
Yeah.
Awful.
They're trying to show an Amazon tribe where Papua New Guinea is, isn't it?
And I've tried to do that really hard. So we went up Friday night. We got there, we got to Wales, to the sort of village area that we thought the hostel was in.
Yeah.
It was like 8 o'clock?
No, 7:30, I think.
And
Yeah.
so it was dark and getting darker. And trying to find your way through the valleys when it's dark is hard. We kept going back to the main road to try and orientate ourselves.
We asked a Welshman.
So this Welsh guy came up to me and said, "Are you looking for somewhere?" And I said, "Yeah, we're trying to find the hostel." "Ah, youth hostel, is it?" he says. So I think, oh great, he knows where it is. I was like, "Yeah, that's it." And he just says, "I don't think there is a youth hostel in this valley," which is great because it's probably the first time I've heard a proper live Welsh person say valley. And it was great because it was really helpful, obviously. So I think we just kept driving around.
Well, we saw on a thing that said reservoir. Couldn't see because it was pitch black. So we just drove through that village, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? The scale of the map was completely off. So we knew we had to go down this road. We were positive that was the road we had to go down. And it said we had to go... It said 800 metres or something, didn't it? So we thought, oh, we'll go down. Arthur kept an eye on his mileometer to see how far we'd gone. Wasn't anywhere there. So eventually...
After pulling in on people's drives.
Yeah, we pulled in on a
"Is
few
that
farm
it?"
drives. Like, guys, I think this is it. This is probably it.
Well,
Bloody Englishmen.
English.
How long do you think we were driving around?
About an hour and a half.
And they'd finished serving dinner.
8:30.
Yeah. So it was shit. We missed dinner. We decided that the only option was to just keep going down that road and see if we saw a sign. I think it was like 2.5 miles in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a way.
So it was
through
like
a village as well that wasn't even on the
It was through a separate village, so 3 times the distance that it said on the map. We finally saw this sign, about that big, on a...
It was a pole, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they'd stuck this crappy little sign on that you could barely see even in the daylight. And then we turned down there and eventually we found it. And when we got to the hostel, the lady was kind enough to make us dinner.
But her directions to our room were bad, weren't they?
She really doesn't know how to give directions. So she gave us these directions. We went out, went towards the archway. She said after the archway, first on left. So we went there, it's just a car park.
Yeah.
And so we basically just went round the rooms trying to open the doors, seeing which one was empty.
A torch through.
It was awful. But she did cook us dinner. I had some sort of vegetable patty and vegetables with some potatoes, which was really bland.
Ours was really good.
She had a little shop with chocolate bars behind it. I think I had a couple of Snickers.
Yeah, I did.
You
I
did.
I bought 2 Snickers and then I bought another one for the morning.
So we just filled up on chocolate, basically. But it worked.
Did it well.
Got us through.
Wasn't too bad, was it?
The reason we went up on Friday night was because we were supposed to start at 8:20.
Yeah, in the morning, yeah.
And initially our plan was to go up on Saturday morning, do Tough Mudder, and then get on the lash Saturday night and stay at the youth hostel. But we decided
We wanted to come home, didn't we?
we wanted to come home afterwards. And we didn't want to wake up at 5 o'clock and then do Tough Mudder the same day.
We thought it'd be better to be up there rather than drive up there and then sort of mess around.
Do a gay pose.
So we did Tough Mudder.
Yeah, it was exhilarating. I would definitely recommend doing it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah. I think the electric eels and the ice bath put me off doing it again.
Ever again?
Um,
Be a few years before.
yeah, a few years.
Yeah,
Remember how bad it was.
Yeah, I can still watch the
Can't
videos
remember,
and
yeah.
feel the electrocution running through my veins and feel the cold. We were the second run of the day.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be first, but we
Yeah.
missed that one,
We
so we
deleted
went second.
Because I fucked up all the paperwork.
Yeah, we basically didn't bring
Any
the forms.
They had to search it through on an Excel document, didn't they? For
Yeah.
our name. They were searching through mobile numbers, weren't they?
Yeah.
They put my number on Arthur's and my mobile number on yours.
We missed that. So we started... What time did we start in the end?
I think it was about 10 to 9.
And they do like a group warm-up to make sure that everybody's warmed up. That was really tiring on its own, I thought.
Yeah. Then there was an obstacle before the start, wasn't there?
Yeah, you had to get over a couple of walls. So you go over the walls and then you get psyched up.
He was all like, wasn't he? Like, everybody get ready! Can you feel the power of Tough Mudder?
That's exactly how he was.
That is what he did.
Yeah.
That was my audition for next year.
You have to read out the pledge where you say things like, it's a challenge, not a race, which we were pleased because Arthur is very fit.
Yeah, very.
We were concerned that Arthur would be like, oh, fuck you guys,
Yeah.
and just go. But
Yeah,
he was good,
he was
wasn't he?
good, yeah.
Then they played, was it Braveheart they were playing? They were playing like bagpipes to set you going and Rocky, and then you rush off and you're like, oh shit, I've still got 12 miles after this, better slow down a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two worst obstacles were Arctic enema and electric eels. So Arctic enema, what they do is they get this, it's a shipping container, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
They get a shipping container, they fill it with really cold water in September, and then they fill it with ice as well.
Just in case.
We were the second run of the day, so the ice hadn't melted properly, and the water hadn't had a chance to warm up, so it was cold. Would we say it was cold?
Oh, it was worse than cold.
It was really cold. Yeah. The reason we know it's cold is because you run up, you stand on top of the shipping container, you jump in, there's a little plank.
And die.
You jump in and die, and then somehow come back to life.
I have to resuscitate you. If you don't make it, you failed.
So you jump in, you've got to swim under this plank and come out the other side. And sometimes when people come out the other side, for some reason they get some sort of possessed and just bolt off. Which is what you did.
I went mental, yeah. When I got out, but I felt really hot afterwards. And then I started slapping myself in the head and screaming like I was mental. And there was like children and stuff, and I was like, fuck.
Mommy, what's wrong with that man? It was so cold.
Yeah, nasty.
And then the other one that was really bad was electric eels. If you think of the paddling pools that you get in your local parks.
Make it sound so innocent. It's just a paddling pool.
But the issue with a paddling pool is that they've got a timber frame over the top of it with dangling electrical cables. It's probably 2 feet high, maybe? It's not very high. You've literally got to, on all fours, crawl along. The electric cables carry about 10,000 volts, they say.
It's like a cattle prod.
It's like a cattle prod. And if you've ever been hit with a cattle prod or 10,000 volts, you'll know it's not a pleasant experience.
Have you ever been hit by a cattle prod?
I doubt many of them have.
No. We've not been hit by cattle prods.
Not cattle prods.
But we know.
So yeah, you've got to crawl through and there's water in there. If you don't get hit directly, say Jack's crawling along next to me, he gets hit, which is like getting hit by a cattle prod, goes through him, through the water and into me. As soon as I put my hands in,
you're getting shot.
yeah, I thought that's pretty bad, but I can cope with that. So I got in and then started crawling along and then got hit properly and I was like, oh man. The guy in front of me stopped moving.
Off his face, wasn't it?
Some people pick up and move. So I don't know if he passed out, but I wasn't hanging around. You're supposed to help your fellow mudders, but I was not hanging around. I'm not kidding when I say sometimes when I watch it, I can still feel the electrocution.
Yeah, especially after the first few days. I was lying in bed at night,
Yeah.
close my eyes and think about it. My body would almost
It's
spasm.
so bad.
Post-traumatic stress.
Yeah. I remember you come out, turn around, it's through the wood.
Yeah.
I can remember running across through those woods and still feeling it going through me.
Yeah.
My leg was cramping up from the electrocution.
Because I charged through on my
Yeah.
I just couldn't stand that shock.
It was horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The worst bit for me was because I dislocated my knee a couple of times. It's
Not
making my
during Tough Mudder.
Not during Tough Mudder. I could feel my leg muscles spasming and it felt like my kneecap was going to come out again. Horrible. It was so horrible. And you had a bit of trouble with your knee in electrocution, didn't you?
Yeah, on the last one.
So that's not the only electric bit. The very last obstacle that you get to is this big timber frame.
Yeah.
It's probably 2.5 meters high. But again,
Yeah.
electric dangling cables. You just got to run through, basically.
It's
But
thick mud as well, isn't it? There's two like little speed bumps of mud as well to trip you up. So many people lost shoes in there, didn't they?
Because everybody
Going back
watches.
for them, I'd leave it.
I would leave it. Even if I just bought 150
Yeah.
quid pair of shoes,
Those
no, I'm
shoes
leaving you
stay,
behind.
yeah.
So you get a pint of Strongbow after you finish. You get your headband. You get a space blanket.
And you get tough.
And a t-shirt. Tough Mudder 2013 finisher. Fun, which is an interesting word to put on the back of the t-shirt. So once we'd finished, one of the things that we did, and pretty much everybody else did, was wrap on the space blanket and watch the people running through the electric cables whilst you're sipping on your pint of cider. It was good fun, wasn't it?
It was good fun. It coming though, it's like
When somebody gets caught, and then the spectators all go, ooh!
Yeah.
So it's, ooh! And possibly somebody falling down because all their muscles have spasmed.
well, I fell over, didn't I?
Did you... It was a trip, was it?
Yeah, and then limped across the finish line
Yeah.
with you and Arthur carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
We all did really well.
Yeah.
Right, so we need to finish this video.